The highest treehouse in the world is part of something called the Gibbon Experience in northern Laos. There are several treehouses. This one is at 40 meters. Then the other one that's closest to here, also part of the Gibbon Experience, is at 30 meters. And I think I read there's one in Spain at 35. It seems there's another structure in this very jungle which is higher than this treehouse, but it's more a platform which can't sleep nearly a dozen guests. So this is the world's highest, biggest, most house of all tree houses. The entire structure, all 5 floors and mezzanines and half levels, completely wraps around the tree's trunk and upper branches. And what a tree. This is a Dipterocarpus elatus. Though not as majestic as the neighboring king tree, this one still dwarfs its regular non-regal neighbors. So how do you keep this amazing structure 40 meters off the ground? Well, lots and lots of lumber, which had to be brought in. And I can only think of all this being airlifted by helicopter because we're deep in the heart of the jungle of the Nam Khan National Park, high up in the hills with no roads anywhere near here. And then you've got bolts and nuts and anchors and screws and nails and the cables here, hundreds of meters, 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch steel wound cable. And how do you get here? Well, about 2 hours of hiking up some really steep hills, and then you zip line. It's 10 zip lines, one after the other, from one summit to the next, over some really, it's like just zipping over some really deep ravines and valleys. You zip into the first level of the treehouse and remove your footwear because the floors here are pristine. This first level is also where you'll find the toilet and shower. From this open toilet and shower space 40 meters above the jungle, stairs lead up to the main deck where the kitchen is, along with dining and sleeping areas. This is the treehouse's main deck, the most expansive level overlooking the jungle in all directions. Though it feels very solid at the moment because there's absolutely no wind, we heard stories of emergency evacuations where storms would set in. Stairs lead up to 2 small mezzanine decks where other sleeping areas are set up at night. Most of the treehouse is securely anchored directly to the trunk, with some overhanging platforms secured to large branches overhead. Offshoots of the main trunk grow under, over, and through the entirety of the treehouse. It is astounding. From, I guess, the beauty of it, also the complexity, and the engineering is amazing. And the view, it's sunset in northern Laos right now. And so many people from so many countries here. I think we're close to 10 from the Czech Republic, the Netherlands. We've got some Swiss, Italians, and even, yes, 2 Canadians. We're having supper and we're discussing how you possibly get this thing built. I can't even imagine. I mentioned the king tree before. This is the biggest tree to be found today in Laos, deep in the heart of this jungle. This tree is sacred to the people of Laos, and every so often Buddhist monks trek and zipline to the king tree for a special ceremony or 2. Getting there is physically exhausting, and I can only imagine what it's like in full monk's robes and sandals. And they were also carrying a live pig. It's a type of story, you keep it for a pub. In case you're wondering, this isn't an ad for the Gibbon Experience, and I'm not sponsored in any way. I'm just a regular paying customer. But as I set foot here, there's this part of my brain which still, it's still 12 years old and builds tree houses and forts, along with this other slightly more rational part of me which is persistently entertained figuring out how one thing screws into another thing. Well, this structure here, this whole amazing treehouse, I can't believe a place like this even exists. And I am so happy that I could share this with you. Thank you. Take care and see you next time. Bye.